And a one. What's up? What's up, world? I think I'm live. Let me just verify that really quick. I actually think I am live in two places, on my profile and on my page. So let me just double check, make sure the sound's coming through. And it is. We are good to go. So this is my first simulcast ever, so that's pretty cool. So what's up, everybody? This is Justin Glover. This Facebook Live, it's going to benefit those of you who want to become better online marketers, better network marketers. This will benefit you. All right, so in the next few minutes, here's what I'm going to share with you. I'm going to share 10 tips that I've learned from the first 3 days of this 14-day marketing challenge that I'm participating in. And I'm also going to share how I've generated 20 plus high quality leads for 100% free in the first 3 days alone by using these 10 tips. All right, so if you missed Thursday's live stream, I announced that that I'd be doing much more frequent live streams, at least daily, for the next 14 days. And so I'm going to be honest, I've been in marketing, online marketing, for over a decade now. And already in the first 3 days of this challenge, I've learned some things that I haven't seen taught anywhere else before. So things that can literally have people reaching out to you asking for more information about your product or your service or your opportunity within hours of implementing some of this stuff. All right, so I've already had that happen for me. Just like I said earlier, I've generated 20 plus leads just by implementing the action steps from this challenge, and 100% for free in the first 3 days alone. So stay tuned. Type leads if you're wanting to learn a little. If that's something that's attractive to you. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about how to do that, just give me an all caps leads in the in the comments. All right. And those of you that are involved in home business or network marketing, this is also going to be one of those things that you might want to share with your team. If you have one. All right, so let's give some quick shout outs. We got a few people here. So Andrea's in the house. Hey Andrea, it's great to see you. Elena, good evening, glad you are here. Heather is in the house. Hey Heather. Andrea's ready for some leads, ready to go. We got some people over here on the Facebook page as well, but I can't see who you are. It's not showing me on the phone. So anyway, what's up? Let's get into this stuff because I don't know how long. I want to keep this as concise as possible, but I got 10 things, so it could take a bit of time. All right, I'm going to share 10 takeaways. All right, tips that are taken directly from my notes that I've been taking over these last 3 days of the first 3 days of the 14-day marketing challenge. Right, I'm participating in a 14-day marketing challenge, and already I've generated 20 plus leads, 100% free in these first 3 days alone. And so these 10 tips that I'm about to walk you through, this is exactly what I've been doing. All right, now it's not the extent of it. I talk for hours about every single share every single detail. It's all documented in my notes, but these 10 tips are kind of the core, kind of the main things so far. All right, and I can share more of these as I go along for the next few days. All right, so tip number 1. Do more Facebook Lives than you're currently doing. That's the first thing. Just do more Facebook Lives than you're currently doing, unless you're already doing them daily. Then you don't have to do multiple Facebook Lives a day. Just continue doing them. But more Facebook Lives. Facebook Lives are the easiest way to get in front of an audience and get your message in front of them, and then put things in front of them that will attract the ones that you want to attract. And so if you're not doing Facebook Lives and you want to market your business and actually get better results, then just do more Facebook Lives. That's the core of this challenge. It's a Facebook Live every single day with some special instructions and tweaks and things. And so that's the first tip, just do more. All right, so tip number 2, when you mention the name of your product or your service or your company or your opportunity, when you mention that in your marketing, you're giving your prospect, your potential prospect, exactly everything that they need, all of the ammunition that they need to then go and type into Google the name of the product, the name of the service, the name of the company, the name of the opportunity, and learn more from Google. all right, instead of them actually reaching out to you, which is the whole point that we're wanting. We're wanting more people reaching out to you, you generating leads. And so by omitting the name of your product, service, or opportunity in your Facebook Lives, by not saying it, people have more reasons to reach out to you. They're more likely to reach out to you. When you give them the name, they're just going to go to Google, because going to Google and searching for it, way easier for them than to reach out and talk to a stranger in some cases, right? If they're a stranger. And so that's tip number 2. Whenever you're mentioning it, all right, this is especially true for those of you in network marketing that are naming the name of your company that you're promoting all the time. Well, you're giving them the ammunition that they need to just go to Google, and they'll learn what they want to learn about your company by going to Google. Is Google always friendly? No, Google shows negative results. Google also shows results from other people in that company. So they could go to Google, and then Google would point them to somebody else maybe that's already uploaded some content. All right, so if you want people reaching out to you, because you make sales by kind of a 3-step process, what I'm going to get into in a bit, essentially putting out informational, educational content, value up front, and then that value leads to a second valuable giveaway, and then that leads to a conversation. All right, I'm going to break down this process for you here in a bit. And so that is tip number 2. Instead of you mentioning the name of the product, service, or opportunity, just omit it, and more people will likely actually reach out. Ron is in the house. What's up, Ron? Good to see you here, man. So tip number 3, always have a clean background. Don't have messy backgrounds. They're just distractions, and honestly, they can do more harm than good. All right, so in your live videos, always have some sort of a clean background. All right, so that's tip number 3. Tip number 4, always have good lighting. You have poor lighting where nobody can see your face, so you got shadows all around or whatever, you can actually have a negative impact on the result. All right, so get yourself some sort of lamp that's bright, stand in front of a window, get a ring light, whatever you got to do to get the lighting correct. When the light is pointing towards your face, then it's going to be a lot better. The lighting is coming from behind you, it's going to make you kind of look shadowy. All right, so that's the first 4 tips. Tip number 5, before you go live, this one's kind of cool. I call this the 5-minute Facebook handshake. Before you go live, go out and engage with 20 other posts or stories or other Facebook lives. All right, so just scroll down your news feed and just start engaging with at least 20 people before you go live. That's the 5th tip. All right, this takes just a few minutes to do. I'm talking, and by engaging, I'm not talking about hitting the like button. Those go unnoticed. So hit the love button or the ha-ha button, or leave a comment, better yet. I like to do a combination of the love button and a comment. That's how I engage. And you can rapid fire just do this with 10, 15, 20 people in a matter of a few minutes. If you do that immediately before you go live and you track who you're actually commenting and engaging with, you will see some of those people on your Facebook Live that you did that. Now, I goofed up and I went live and I didn't even do this, so I'm not even following that rule right now. But you will have more people on your Facebook, on your live streams live whenever you go live if you do it, if you go out and engage with 10 or 20 of them right before you end up going live. All right, so pay attention to the ones that you're engaging with and you'll see them show up. That's tip number 5. All right, tip number 6, make sure it's not noisy in the background. Make sure you're not in an area where there's a lot of loud traffic or, you know, people talking or singing or dropping pots and pans or, you know, playing drums or, you know, sawing a car in half. Make sure there's not noise around, right? Make sure it's not, you don't have a noisy background. Now, we can't prevent things from happening. If I'm live streaming here, I can't prevent the dog from barking or the doorbell ringing or, you know, I guess nobody's going to drop a pan unless somebody's here. But my point is, if something noisy, unexpected happens in the background, just address it. All right, don't ignore it. That's kind of weird. But address it and just keep going. You know, laugh about it. Keep life. You know, hey, who knows? You know, never know what can happen when you're live. And then just move on. Just acknowledge it and just keep moving on. All right. That's tip number 6. So make sure it's not noisy in the background, but if something does happen, then just address it, laugh, and move on. Tip number 7, engage as much as you can with as many people as you can. All right, be over the top nice when somebody joins your live or they comment or they share some love. Like, acknowledge that. Don't just ignore it. Be over the top nice. You know, say something nice about them. All right, so that will help with the stick rate of the people that stay on your lives, and it'll net you better results. All right, that's tip number 7. Tip number 8, respond to each comment. If it's appropriate to respond to the comments live, so if you guys type a comment here about anything that I'm saying, maybe it's appropriate for me to respond to that. Sometimes comments aren't appropriate to respond to while I'm live and actually sharing the content, but immediately after you go live, you should go back and respond and engage with everybody that engaged. All right, so that is tip number 8. Tip number 9, after you deliver your attractive content in your Facebook Live, after you deliver it, then you need to transition into your call to action. Some sort of call to action where you instruct them to reach out to you if they would like this second cool thing of value that you have, and you're going to give it to them for free. All right, so I'm going to give you an example of this. I'm going to break this down a little bit further because this one's important. But an example of this is Thursday. I did a live stream, and at the end of it, I basically said in the live stream, hey, I'm going on this 14-day journey. I'm going to be learning about marketing stuff every day for the next 14 days. I'm going to be taking really good notes on that marketing stuff. And hey, if you want me to send you those notes for free, just reach out to me and let me know. So that was my second thing of value, and I offered it for free. And so you need this. You just keep that in mind. I'll kind of break this down a little bit. But before I give you the last 2 tips, all right? Now, I know I promised you 10. I just said 2 more, and we're already at 9. So do the math there. But before I give you the last 2 tips, which are, by the way, the most ninja. These are really cool tips that you may not have heard. Great chance that you might not have heard either one of these. And so I'm going to give you 2 tips here in just a second that are the most ninja, and the main reason that I've actually been able to generate 20+ new leads in the first 3 days for 100% for free. All right, but first, before I share those with you, those last 2 tips, we need to talk about calls to action and transitions. All right, calls to actions and transitions. Zach's here. What's up, Zach? Good to see you, man. My mom is here. Hello, mother. Jeanette is here. Krista is here. Hey, guys. If you guys are getting value from the notes in the marketing challenge so far, let me know. So we got to talk about calls to action and transitions first. All right, so when you are doing your Facebook Lives, you need to be solely thinking, this is if you want to generate leads, right? Point of you being here. That was the title. That's what this live is about. When you're doing your live, you need to be solely thinking, okay, I'm trying to get people to reach out to me. That's my goal. So why would people reach out to me? Why would anybody reach out to me? Okay. And the answer to that is they will reach out to you if it's of benefit to them. That's it. It's a very simple answer. They will reach out to you if it is of benefit. So stop seeking the sale. This is a very important point. Stop seeking the sale in your Facebook Lives, in your marketing. Stop seeking the sale. Instead, seek a conversation. The whole game here with online marketing, whether you're trying to recruit people into your product or your service or your business opportunity, the whole game is to provide value and then turn that value, seek a conversation. Don't try to sell them in your marketing. Seek a conversation. All right, and the conversation is where the conversion happens. Okay, so to do this effectively, you need to understand calls to actions, you need to understand transition. So just to be clear, for those of you that are not aware, CTA stands for call to action. All right, transition, when I say transition, I'm talking about the words that you say to transition from talking about your content to talking about your call to action, the thing that you want them to reach out to you for. That's what I mean when I say transition. All right. So when you're doing a transition or you're transitioning into a call to action in your Facebook Lives, always transition in a way for you to have a conversation. All right. Don't transition and try to sell your product at that point or sell people into your business opportunity. It's not going to work. But yet that's what most people do in a roundabout way. All right, let me unpack this a little bit more for you. The best way to get people into a conversation is to ask yourself, well, why would they want to reach out to me? You got to give somebody a reason to reach out to you. That's thing number one. All right. Hey, Elzira, thank you so much. Glad you're enjoying it. So that's thing number one. You got to give them a reason to reach out to you. All right. So here's the kind of the 3-step process, and this is essentially wrapped up in a nutshell exactly what I've done for these first 3 days that's allowed me to generate 20 new high quality leads that I haven't paid for. All right. So step 1, provide informational or educational content, aka value. Put value out to the world. Now we're talking about doing that in the form of a Facebook Live. But regardless of how you do it, you can do it in a written post or anything, in video, uploaded video, all works the same. But put informational, educational content, aka value, out to the world. All right. You need an example of this? Look at my last 5-10 lives. Well, maybe not 10. I don't know that I've done that many. But look at my last lives for the last few days. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So that's step 1. All right. Put the informational, educational content out. Step 2 is have some sort of a valuable giveaway that leads to step 3, a conversation. Have some sort of valuable giveaway, that's step 2, that leads to step 3, which is a conversation. So your Facebook Live is not supposed to be the sales thing. You're not supposed to sell from the Facebook Live. You use that to get into a conversation. The conversation is where the conversion happens. Right? And so that's the essence of marketing on the internet and using these strategies. So a very common question that comes up often, and this is covered in the notes pretty detailed, should every single Facebook Live that I do put me in a position, have a call to action, right? And so the question behind that is, should every Facebook Live that I do put me in a position to benefit? And the answer is yes, absolutely. If you're investing your time giving out free value, shouldn't you benefit from that in some way? The answer is yes. So the way that benefit happens is by you getting good at doing call to action, CTAs. All right? Because if the call to action, it's the key for there to be a benefit. If you don't do a call to action, you're just spending your time and your money and planting seeds. Like if you're not doing a call to action, then you're not getting anybody reaching out because you're just outgoing value. All right. And so if you omit the call to action, you're depriving yourself from getting the maximum benefit of your Facebook Live. So just think about it that way. All lives, for that reason, all lives should have a call to action. However, you don't necessarily need a transition in all lives. All right, if the content itself that you're teaching in the Facebook Live, if it's closely enough related to your second piece of valuable content that you're going to give away, then you don't need to do a transition. You go, like, you talk about your content, it's about XYZ, and then when you're done talking about that, you just keep on talking and say, oh yeah, I got this other thing bonus that I'll give you. It's more on XYZ. If you want it, reach out, let me know. There's no need for like bridging any gap. There's no gap. It's similar. You need a transition when you're talking about something in your content. All right, you talk about your content, and then your call to action or your second piece of free thing that you're giving away is unrelated or seemingly unrelated. Then you need some sort of a transition, okay? Because you can't just say, okay, so there's your tips on ABC. I'll give you some examples, specific examples. All right. So when you're offering your valuable giveaway, sell the benefits of it. This is the final thing, and I'll give you some examples. When you're offering your valuable giveaway, sell the benefits of the giveaway. Tell them what the benefits of the giveaway will be. Don't sell the product. Okay. So here's an example. If you let's pretend that you got 1,000 people in front of you and you're delivering a Facebook Live and you got 1,000 people on there. Okay. So I'm going to give two scenarios. And so scenario one, let's say you say, hey, I've got this. This is how not to do it. You say, I got this awesome plate for sale. So reach out to me if you want to buy this plate. All right. How many people are going to reach out to you if they want to buy that plate? Right? How many people can you expect to reach out to you? Only the ones who are interested in buying that plate, right? So out of 1,000 people, I don't know, maybe 6, maybe 10, not many. Only the ones that see the plate and make a decision immediately and say, ooh, I want to buy that plate, and then they would reach out. So, and that's what most people are doing on their lives. They're going directly to the sale. Instead, remember what I told you earlier, go for the conversation. I'm going to show you how to do that. So here's a better example, and I'll do like a way not to do it and then a way to do it. You can kind of see it. All right. So a better example, and this is the example that Ray, my buddy Ray, actually covered in the 14-day challenge this morning. And I took really detailed notes on this, and I've got all these examples and stuff outlined. If you want them, just reach out to me and I'll give you those notes. So all right. So a better example. Here's an example. So let's say that you're delivering tips on four tips for decorating for the fall. All right. So that would be an attractive piece of content that you would put out to the world that would attract people to you that are interested in decorating for the fall. Right. So here's how your transition or your close would go, your call to action. There's one version. So there you have it. There are my 4 tips for decorating for the fall. Oh, and by the way, I'm selling decorations, fall decorations on my online store. Reach out to me if you're ready to buy some fall decorations from me. All right. So that's not the smoothest example, but you can see that probably wouldn't be very effective. The same as the plate example. Who's going to reach out? Only the people that are ready to buy fall decorations from you right now, which is going to be a very small percent. Here's a better way of doing it. Okay. If you say, okay, so there's my 4 tips for decorating for the fall. Oh, and by the way, I have 3 secret sources that I use for getting amazing deals on all of my fall decorations. Reach out to me if you want me to give you my 3 sources for getting good fall decorations. You see the difference? If you did it that second way, you would have way more than 5 or 10, probably 500 or 600 or more people reach out to you. If you got 1,000 people out there on the line, and you say, reach out to me for my 3 sources. What are the 3 sources? Step 2, the second piece of valuable thing that you're giving away. And so reach out to me if you want my 3 sources. If you did it that way, you would have 500, 600 or more reach out to you to get your 3 sources. All right, your 3 sources. And so then what you do is you use the CTA delay. The CTA delay is so ninja. This is what gets them into a conversation. Okay. So a lot of people, now I'll explain, that's tip 10. So I'll come back to the CTA delay here in just a minute. But this is how you get yourself into lots of conversations. And remember, conversations are where the sales come from. Conversions happen inside of the conversations. You guys getting value? If you're getting value on this, let me know. Just type value in comments. That'll let me know to keep going. So here's the deal. All right. So that second way that you present it, whole lot more effective, right? Lots more people reaching out to you, asking for your 3 sources. Now, here's how it could break down. Not everybody's going to buy. Let's say that 600 people reach out to you. Are all 600 going to buy your fall decorations from you? No, absolutely not. That's crazy to think so. However, you're going to make a lot more sales than if you just went straight from using CTA number 1 and you just said, hey, I sell fall decorations. If you're ready to buy your decorations from me, let me know. So here's how it could break down using it the second way, all right, the better way. So let's say 600 people were to reach out. You would then whittle that down and say 200 conversations. If you use the CTA delay, you're probably going to get more conversations. But let's say you get 200 conversations out of those 600 people that reach out. The other 400, you just there's no conversations. You just send them the thing or whatever. And so you whittle it down to 200 conversations. Out of those 200 conversations, you're probably going to get 80, 90, 100 people of them to buy decorations from you. That's a massive difference than if you went straight for the sale. You went straight for the conversion. Don't go for the conversion, go for the conversation. All right. So again, it's a 3-step process. This is a 3-step process that I've used over the last 3 days to generate 20 plus new high quality leads that didn't cost me anything. All right. So step 1, information or education, valuable content. All right. Step 1, valuable content, information or education. Step 2, at the end of that information or education, when you deliver the valuable content, step 2, offer them a valuable giveaway of some sort that leads to step 3, a conversation, because your conversation leads to the conversion. Okay. And so in step 2, you're offering the valuable giveaway, right? Now, you need, and I've already told you on transitions, not all the time do you need to use a transition. Sometimes you can just go directly from giving your free content, your information, directly to the call to action, to the valuable giveaway. But sometimes you need to bridge that gap and use a transition. All right, so these are the 3 steps that I've used, all I've done over the past 3 days. This is it. I've just followed that to generate 20 plus leads. That 3-step formula, 1, 2, 3, that'll work to sell anything in the world on the internet, period. Doesn't matter, I don't care, anything, whatever you're selling, you can use that 3-step formula. All right, so now you know a little bit about call to action delay, call to actions and transitions. So I go a lot deeper on this stuff, by the way, in my notes that I'm taking. And so if you want those notes, then reach out. I'll give them away to you totally for free. Reach out to me if you want them. And so here's the final 2 tips. You ready? Who's ready for the final 2 tips? Final 2 tips. All right, you guys are getting value. That's good. All right, so the final 2 tips on this stuff. All right, so, and I don't even know if I can give you, maybe I can give you one. All right, so when somebody requests your notes, all right, you follow the 3-step process, you put value out, you then make an offer and say, hey, you know, they request your notes, or they request thing number 2 of value, and they say, yes, I want it. Please send them to me. Please send me your notes. Please send me your thing of value, your video, your article, your 3 tips, your 3 sources. Please send it to me. Okay? That's when you use the CTA delay. Before you give it to them, you have to ask them a question. This is so good. It's so ninja.